नमस्कार अनि स्वागत छ दर्शकवृन्द फेरि एकचोटि यहाँहरूलाई कार्यक्रम माइल्स टु गोमा। हजुर, आज हामी कुराकानी गर्न लागिरहेछौँ एउटा यस्तो सामाजिक इस्यु विच हैज बिकम अ ग्लोबल फेनोमेनन। हजुर, आज हामी कुराकानी गर्न लागिरहेछौँ ह्युमन ट्राफिकिङ अथवा ह्युमन राइट्स बारे। हालै यहाँहरूले डाक्टर डोमा जो लिगल कन्सल्टेन्ट हुनुहुन्थ्यो ह्युमन राइट्स ल नेटवर्कको, उहाँको अन्तर्वार्ता हेर्नुभएको थियो अनि धेरै इस्युजहरू हामीले डिस्कस गरेका थियौँ। यसरी नै आज हाम्रो यस कार्यक्रमको अति नै विशिष्ट गेस्ट हुनुहुन्छ अल द वे फ्रम शिलोङ, एन्ड आई मस्ट से शी इज वान अफ अ very living example of women empowerment. Yes, she is Hasina Kharbhih all the way from Shillong, and I must say she has been involved in various social activities and she has also proved herself as one of a very vocal social activist. She has been a pioneer in setting up Impulse NGO network which exclusively work for human rights and human trafficking. र आउनुहोस् अब हामी कुराकानी गर्नेछौँ हसिना खार्बीसँग। हसिना, welcome to the show and thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
And indeed, it's your visit this time has been something related with the media and the press of Sikkim. Tell us something about this.
Actually, we have been working on combating child trafficking in the northeast of India under the Meghalaya model, a model which actually fetched me the Ashoka Fellowship, which is a holistic intervention of addressing child trafficking issues, bringing together law enforcement, social welfare department, child welfare committees, and the media in coordinating in the absence of funding to address child trafficking issues. So on related to that, different activities has been taking place over the past 8 years. And we have been working in 8 states of the Northeast, and Sikkim is one of the states. And we have been working in prevention program, and we've been working in policing, which is, conducting a lot of police training through the help of the state police department. And we also been working in prosecution issue to ensure that there are legal support provided to the victims of child trafficking, and a lot of media capacity building. Now, under the media capacity building, the partnership has emerged over the past 8 years, which has brought about, a kind of a high level of awareness, because media is one, channel which can reach to every nook and corner and can address issue like human trafficking in a wider way, where sometimes the restricted and the constraint that NGO might face in reaching out, media does not have that constraint. And the program we're having in Sikkim, it's a capacity building for journalists in how to report sensitive news on human trafficking. And that has taken place yesterday and today was the last day. This emerged out of a regional editors meeting, which took place in Guwahati recently, where the plan of action was that capacity building for journalists at state level would be a way forward of ensuring that sensitive reporting is not only taking place to regional media, but also to the vernacular press of the state. Right. And the media partner from Sikkim, Sikkim Express, was one of the team who was there, and Amit Patro, the editor who was coming down to represent Sikkim Express, told us that we should take up forward even in Sikkim, and that's how we had this program.
Okay, you have been proactively involved in these activities of human rights and human trafficking. We just wanted to make a concept clear what exactly human rights means.
Now we're looking at, I think every human being has rights, and the right is constitutional rights that we have, the right to live, the right to express, all these rights are there. In the context of child trafficking issues, as an organization, it's one of the, CRC, the Convention on the Right of a Child, is something which is, ratified by the government of India, and because it is ratified and India is signatory to it, that the Juvenile Justice Act was amended in 2000 and also was re-amended in 2006, which constitute that child right is the right, it's a basic human rights that we need to address. And looking overall and above, child trafficking is the worst form of, criminal activities that can take place to a child. It's the worst form of violation. So when we work with child rights, we are working in the context to address that every child has a right and should be protected from all forms of discrimination, exploitation, and slavery context as human trafficking.
Acha, tell us how you envision the idea of conceiving Impulse NGO network.
Impulse came over when I was in school, and it was basically a group of friends and myself when we thought that we should do something for the society. And since I was very actively involved as a social person in school, basically when you are in school, you volunteer a lot to do social activities. So I was very much with the LTS, Leadership Training Services in school. And when I was reaching my class 10, I realized that I would like to do furthermore. But how do we do it? So we decided to form an alumni. So me and a friend of mine, Cynthia Chu, decided to form an alumni. But the alumni took shape instead to be Impulse NGO Network, which it is today. Although the first group of friends moved as they went along for different studies and different professions, I carried on the vision. And my college friend like Rosanna Lingdo, who's presently with the organization as a project manager, and then we have Romeo Mirchang, and then Mr. A.G. Kharbhih, a bunch who stayed on with the organization, and other friends who came together and re-looked at the vision that the organization had and tried to re-establish, and then decided that we should reach out not only in Shillong or in Meghalaya as a whole, but the entire Northeast. And that's how, in short, Impulse was formed. And we do work on 3 critical areas. Livelihood initiative, which is providing economic generating activities by providing market linkages to the rural artisans. And this is again another form of ensuring prevention of trafficking because people would not migrating. The other is community education, which works more or less with young adolescents, intervention in HIV and AIDS. But the topmost priority of the organization is child rights, and the child right is combating child trafficking, working with cross-border issues in the Northeast. But like I said in the beginning, that we work through state partners who we identify to be active organization, individual who have worked on child rights, who would be able to take and carry forward this issue. And for the state of Sikkim, we have Tashi Raptend from Hope, who is actually an advocate and a human rights lawyer, who is also actively involved with his organization Hope to take on the activities in the state of Sikkim, and Doma Bhutia from HLRN. So we work through partners like that, and we facilitate, we give them support, and we give them financial assistance through our as a nodal agency, and we reach out to the district's level through the district partner as well.
And when was Impulse formed?
Impulse turned 16 years this year, so it's a long journey indeed, and it's something when I look back, I can imagine that it's been, many kind of processes.
Many ups and downs.
Many ups and downs, many challenges, and these challenges has come up to be a learning and a milestone for us to go further.
On a serious note, amongst all the 8 northeastern states, including Sikkim, which states rates highest in human trafficking and which state rates very least?
In overall, Assam has stand as the highest, where a lot of cases has come up, Meghalaya, but the other states are never far behind. The more the awareness, the more the cases get registered. So we have Mizoram, we are having Nagaland, Manipur, which is also at the same, Tripura, for instance, and even Sikkim is coming up very, very high. So the fact is that when you are creating awareness in the community, people get to understand what human trafficking, because human trafficking is not about prostitution per se, but human trafficking can relate to women and children being trafficked for various forms of exploitation. It could be labor, it could be organ transplant, it could be sexual exploitation for prostitution. So it's a multifaceted kind of a situation when we talk about human trafficking. So that is where the whole concept of work that Impulse took it on for.
Talking in perspective to Sikkim, nowadays we can see in various medias and newspapers coming like